today the following people. Our Assemblyman Michael Montesano, if you can. Our Nassau County Legislator Sheila Bino, Presiding Officer of the Suffolk County Legislature Dwayne Gregory, members of my board, who many of you know already, my Deputy Mayor Joan Bowes, and my trustees Beaumont Jefferson, Steve Cordy, and Bill Wise. We're here on Long Island today to celebrate the future of Westbury's economy. As mayor, I live and breathe making this community the best that it can be. That means attracting new talented people and bringing innovative companies to grow and expand here. We're situated amongst the most innovative and historic communities and are just a short train ride away from the global capital market center of business. Our ability to thrive relies on our ability to secure key infrastructure, promote entrepreneurship, and create more jobs for our residents. At the same time, we're seeing a mass movement of people from rural to urban areas in search of more efficient lifestyle and easier access to food, entertainment, and jobs. To me, this means one thing for us here in Westbury: opportunity. For the last 6 years, Governor Cuomo has maintained steadfast in his commitment of growing New York's economy, and his strategy is working for Long Island and every other region. Under the governor's vision and leadership, we now want to bring that potential for growth even further right here to Westbury to generate long-term growth for our families and our community. Now it's my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you the 56th Governor of the State of New York, the Honorable Henry Cuomo.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be back in Nassau. It's my pleasure to be in Westbury. And first, to your mayor, who is doing an extraordinary job. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today. Let's give the mayor a round of applause. County Executive Ed Mangiano, who's doing a great job and has been a great partner to work with for me on the state side. Ed Mangiano. My colleagues from Albany in the Senate and the Assembly, we have Senator Jack Martins, we have Assemblyman Chuck Levine, and we have Michael Montesano. Pleasure to be with you, gentlemen. And I am excited to be here. We had a great legislative session this year. Legislative session goes from January to June. And the legislature leaves in June. And we had one of the most productive legislative sessions this state has had in decades. We got a lot of good work done. First, we got the budget done on time. We stayed within our 2% spending cap, which is saying something. We avoided the gridlock, which seems to be the illness of the day. It's the virus that affects governments all across this country. It has paralyzed the government in Washington. We have our differences, the Democrats, Republicans, etc., but we're New Yorkers first, and we act that way, and we don't allow our politics to get in the way of doing the people's work. And I applaud my colleagues for that. But we really did have a great record at the end of the day. More money for education than ever before in the history of the state of New York. We raised the minimum wage. We passed the best paid family leave program in the United States of America that allows people to work, but also tend to their families. We addressed the scourge of heroin and opioid addiction, which is only getting worse and is a significant problem here on the island, as you know. We have the best program in the country for breast cancer and attacking breast cancer. So a lot of great work. But the thrust for us is always economic development. Why? Because if the economy is running and if you're developing jobs, basically that is the engine that pulls the train. If you're developing jobs, there's opportunity. If there's opportunity, people are moving in, young people are staying. If there are jobs, then they're creating revenue, which means the county's happy and the mayor's happy and they leave us alone. So the thrust is always about economic development. And the state has done its part. We have reversed our image from New York, the high-tax state, the anti-business state. We have cut taxes in every income bracket. Everyone in the state pays a lower tax rate today than they did 5 years ago. And we're proud of that. This year, we cut taxes for the middle class, large definition middle class, up to $300,000, the lowest tax rate in 70 years, believe it or not. So we are doing what we need to do on the state level. But we also understand that economic development doesn't really happen on the state level. The most important thing in life to know is to know what you don't know, to know your limitations. Economic development more and more is happening region by region around the state. We have the Buffalo region, we have the North Country region, we have New York City, we have Nassau, and these are all different. And they have different needs, and there are different assets and different liabilities, and they have different strategies. So we say to the local governments, you tell us what you need, and you tell us how to help you, rather than we stay in Albany and dictate what you should do. We reverse the economic development strategy that we used in the past. And we look to local governments. And we do something else. We don't have enough money to fund every local government's wish list. So we run competitions. We know, for example, that economic development more and more is coming around vibrant downtown centers. You look at where the economy is growing. If you show me a downtown that is growing and is incentivized, that's where the jobs are going to go. Now, we can't fund every downtown development project in the state. So we run a competition. And if you have limited money, you want to make sure that you're investing in the best programs. Tax dollars that we spend, that's citizens' money, so we want to make sure we put it in the best place possible. So we said to the local governments across the state, you give us your best plan for your downtown revitalization, and we will partner with the best. We had 122 applications in the state, and there were only 10 slots for 10 winners. I've told communities that were not successful, that didn't get funded. Even though you didn't get funded, I still think the exercise was worth it. To come together, how do we grow our downtown, develop partnerships, develop strategies. So the exercise itself, going through the competition, was a good one. Obviously, it's better if you win. And obviously, I wouldn't be here except to tell you that you won. Congratulations. The top amount was a $10 million award, and you won the $10 million award. Today to say to all of you, congratulations, and it was really a job well done. You hit all the touch points. You've incorporated every strategy in your development plan that we know works. You have a transit-oriented development plan. I'm even more excited about how it can work when we get the third track done for the LIRR, which we have to get done. You use the diversity of the community as an asset. You have affordable housing, you have walking strategies, you have it all in your plan. So a job well done. It is a well-deserved award, and I believe it's going to turn out to be a great investment for the people of the state of New York, and I'm going to congratulate all the people who worked so long and hard to make this dream a reality, because you did. Congratulations.
thank you. It's certainly a good day to join with the governor. And we're always thrilled to have the governor in Nassau County, but we're especially thrilled when he leaves a $10 million check in our county. So come off the governor. And I want to congratulate certainly the Village of Westbury for an excellent plan and something that is certainly transformative. These transformative investments are really going to change the trajectory of this region, and we are very excited about it. These projects work, and there are so many examples here in the County of Nassau. I just want to recognize my economic development team. I know Joe Carney's here and Tim Williams, our chair of the IDA. And you really don't have to look any further than Farmingdale Village, where we invested in transit-oriented development, and it really has turned that village around. It is thriving, there are new businesses coming, we're getting job creation, and providing homes for our millennials. And that's exactly what the governor is doing here. It's creating this investment to create jobs and opportunities, housing opportunities for our millennials. And it is working. And even if you look at the statistics here in Nassau County, for the first time in a long time, our population increased more than Suffolk County. Our unemployment rate is the lowest in the region, and the lowest or second lowest in the entire state of New York, because of strong economic policies and the support of Governor Cuomo and our state officials in reinvesting in our communities to create jobs and opportunities. And we are getting stronger. And today is a great example where the governor has put his money where his mouth is, and he's making a difference here in our great county. There's a sweeping initiative to help us further position Westbury and our county for long-term growth and prosperity by leveraging our thriving arts and cultural centers, making this area more livable, more walkable, and transit-oriented. And by investing in key industries, the DRI work to create an integrated, diverse community booming with commercial activity. But it really is much more than that. This comprehensive plan will work to grow new businesses and job opportunities while attracting top talent and keeping young people right here in our region. And again, these aren't competitions among counties to counties or regions to regions. We're in a competition with the nation, with our neighboring states. That's what people need to really focus on. These incentives help us keep jobs here and attract jobs here. Nassau County is leading the way in attracting brick and mortar investment in headquarters because of these incentives. So they are truly working, and we appreciate the investment of the state in our great county, and certainly in the Village of Westbury, where I'm sure the mayor's leadership and the board of trustees, who I know many of them, will work very, very hard to implement a very exciting and productive program here in our great county. So I'm thrilled to work with our local partners on this plan, and I look forward to our continued partnership and collaboration with the great governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo. And now, give the governor a round of applause. Let's give the Village of Westbury a round of applause. Great application, very proud of it. Now it's my honor to introduce a great partner in government, New York State Senator Jack Martins.
Good afternoon, Westbury. Good afternoon. Governor, this is Westbury. Welcome to Nassau County. Good afternoon, Westbury. Yay. Thank you to Peter Catalera, Mayor, to your board. Congratulations. It's always a pleasure to welcome the governor back to Nassau County. We know that the governor is no stranger to Long Island. He's always been there for us. Right after Superstorm Sandy, there is no greater commitment that we had here in our region than the governor. But some of the comments that were made earlier, I think, bear repeating. These last 6 years in New York State government have been extraordinary. The opportunities we've had to come together and work across the aisle have been extraordinary. The opportunities we've had to have 6 on-time budgets, not increase a single tax or fee, cut taxes, have a tax cap, increase record levels of education spending, record levels of environmental spending to the EPF, and the list goes on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't happen by accident. It happens through leadership and strong leadership at the top, and I want to commend the governor for being such a great partner in government. Westbury is a prototypical suburban community with great residents, great downtown, but struggling with the realities being part of America's oldest suburb here in Nassau County. Things are older and weren't necessarily built to accommodate today's needs. The governor has rightly recognized that transforming our downtowns and restoring them to their natural vibrancy and luster takes not only sustained investment, but local partnerships. To that end, we are fortunate to have great partners in Mayor Cavallaro and the board, but also our great county executive, Ed Mangano. Thanks, Ed. Now, by reimagining our approach to community revitalization, the governor has focused on key areas of investment: upgrading our infrastructure, promoting entrepreneurship, and establishing a pipeline of skilled workers and creating well-paying jobs, which at the end of the day is the lifeblood of our suburban communities. Our commitment to revitalizing New York's downtowns and our local economies continues today with the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. Through this comprehensive regional plan, we will leverage Westbury's natural assets to generate future growth and prosperity, and we build on the progress that the village has made in the last few years. This means investing in our small business community, working with our thriving arts and cultural centers, and I want to take the opportunity to recognize Cyrus, who invested in the space and made this possible. So Cyrus, thank you very much. But it also means partnering with our business communities to keep the momentum moving forward. Now, the plan will also work to reimagine transportation in our downtown centers, creating more parking, implementing traffic calming measures, and upgrading existing infrastructure, not to mention the transit-oriented development. It doesn't hurt that the governor came with the $10 million check to make it all possible. So I thank Governor Cuomo for working with us and the legislature, the Senate, and the Assembly in furthering our shared commitment to Long Island and across the state to revitalizing our communities. But folks, this is about the quintessential Long Island challenge. We are the country's oldest suburban. We were built at a time when they didn't expect us to have as many people as we have, didn't expect us to have as many cars as we have, and frankly, the infrastructure has gotten older over that time. And so this opportunity in this village to be the prototype on how we move forward a true public-private partnership that allows us to leverage $10 million, but it means so much more than those $10 million. Governor, thank you. Thank you very much. And as in all things, none of this happens by itself. It takes the leadership of a great governor. It takes a legislature that's willing to work across the aisle and get things done. And so it's my pleasure and my privilege to introduce my colleague in Albany, Assemblyman Charles Liddy.
Thank you, Jack, for that introduction and for your great work in Albany. And good afternoon and welcome to all. Let me begin by acknowledging all of the hard work, the really hard work that went into the creation of this particular plan. It's been a great opportunity working with all my colleagues and the REDC and seeing these changes unfold. Now, let me go off on a little bit of a tangent, because the DRI, this initiative, is only part of Governor Cuomo's overall economic plan for the state of New York. And I'm particularly proud of a feature of that particular plan, which is the Startup New York plan, which is a new plan, which also is going to revitalize communities throughout our state, especially the communities that really need that shot in the arm. So, Governor Cuomo, thanks. Thank you very much for that. And now, this beautiful community of Westbury is a central hub of our Nassau County. From our thriving business district to our civic and our cultural centers to the great restaurants in this community, this region has so very much to offer. But as our economy and as our community continue to grow, so too does the need for more housing, more affordable housing, more good housing, more retail and greater investment in this area. And so, to ensure that Westbury remains a viable economic center for all of Long Island, we have to make sure it remains an attractive location, a magnet for young people to want to live in, for private investment to want to sink its dollars into, and for economic opportunity for each and every one of us. The Governor's Downtown Revitalization Initiative is helping us do just that by leveraging our unique natural assets, and we have those unique natural assets right here in our backyard and our front yard in Westbury, and by leveraging those with community resources, as well as capitalizing on our broad and diverse, remarkably diverse to our credit, population, we can position this region for long-term growth and success, and that's what this is all about. That means listening not to experts in Albany, but listening to experts in the actual community, in the Westbury community, in the local community, and investing in what works and getting rid of what doesn't work, and making sure that our economic initiatives reflect those lessons learned. Key priorities for Long Island will involve creating a pipeline of skilled workers, attracting private investment, and bringing new talent into this region. By improving the quality of life for the people of Westbury, we can ensure, we can guarantee, we really can, that this region remains a place where people want to live, they want to work, they want to play, and they want to raise their families for generations to come. And let's face it, I'm looking out at this audience and I see family members whose families have been here for many, many generations. Some of those families going back more than 100 years and more than 200 years in this unique community. Governor Cuomo's economic development plans are making a difference for people in every corner of this state, a real difference for the better. And I couldn't be more proud to be a partner with him on this initiative. So to each and every one of you here, and especially to you, Governor Cuomo, and a special thanks to Mayor Peter Cavallaro, who represents this community so very, very well. I want to say a sincere and a hearty thank you. And Mayor Cavallaro, now that I've given you that plug, I'd like you to come back up here and talk to these people and close this program.
You know, as many of you know, I grew up in this community, so our economic redevelopment is important to me. It's important to my board, every member of the board. It's important to the village staff. But everybody who's in the audience today was invited here today, and every single one of you has the interests of Westbury at heart and has been a part of what we're trying to do here. So I want to thank all of you for that, and you should all give yourselves a round of applause. I also want to acknowledge Cyrus Akakian, who built this. He took a leap of faith. He built this space here, which is unique for central Nassau County. And I can't think of a more fitting place to have a $10,000 check for economic development given to you than in this location. So thank you very much, Cyrus. But mostly I have to thank the governor. There are scores of communities who wanted to be standing up here today accepting this grant. And the governor has placed his trust in us here in Westbury to continue the work that we've been doing. And for that, on behalf of my residents and all the stakeholders here, Governor, I just want to say thank you very much. And all of us share that. So thank you very much. Now the important part of the program, I'm going to ask you all to remain seated for the presentation of the check. So.